Welcome back to the Lisbon Sessions Series 3 highlights.
In terms of investments, you were very kind to put us in your top 2 of Golden Visa funds. We don't talk about the other one. In your top 2, I think AWDR might take us over the top. I'm not putting you on the spot. I'm not putting you on the spot. What are investors talking about now? Is there any change in investor climate? What's going on?
So if we compare the number of funds that are available in the market today compared to 1 year ago, 2 years ago, David, we can see there's a big number of funds that are available, and also there is a wide span of businesses that are investing in. And therefore, it becomes more and more important to perform the financial analysis of the investments that you're making. Because this is not just a piece of real estate that you're buying, where a conventional investor would say, okay, it's going to appreciate, it's going to give me some annual income, and all in all, it's worth it. You can get into investment funds that may be investing in some risky assets that you don't know, first of all, whether they'll be able to pay you back what they're promising every year, and well, they'll be able to pay you back capital, because this is this is not a term deposit. So, and we try to tell our investors about the risk that they're running. When looking at your fund compared to other funds, we like it because we understand the mathematics behind it, because we can calculate what is the renewable energy's obligatory purchase rate. So, excess production has to be sold to the grid line. The law is already established in Portugal for that, and that's good for the electricity producers. We also can anticipate what will be the estimated value of the residual value of the investment made after the 5-10 years when you decide to sell or replace the stock of the equipment that you're buying. And so it becomes more closer to a bond investment rather than equity investment, which gives additional comfort to investors.
So, Golden Visa, and we like this to be sort of informative, and it's brilliant to have you on from a banking perspective, because obviously as part of the Golden Visa journey, people open a bank account. Now, from what I hear, Bison is doing a fantastic job, is very efficient in that processing, and has one of the shortest wait times. What do you put that down to? Do you guys have a big team? What's your process?
Well, what we've done was trying to optimize everything from the first moment that the client or our partners contact us with that demand to the moment that the client receives the IBAN and the account is ready to be funded. So today we have an online account opening process that the client completes all the information on a platform, fills all the forms online, and adds all the documentation that is prepared by our partners, either immigration agencies or law firms. With that, the system is prepared for us to open the account in less than 10 business days. So fantastic. We can do it quicker, but also depends on the client if he already has the NIF, the certified copies of the documents, and all that. But we are prepared to have the account opening in less than 10 days. It's something that we do very easily.
So one of the biggest benefits that Golden Visa investors have is once they apply for permanent residency, because they've invested in the Portuguese economy, their permanent residency status works differently from, for instance, a D7 or a D8 investor. Because you've invested in the country, you are not expected to then spend any time in Portugal. So you're not expected to now move to Portugal to maintain your permanent residency status. It's a 5-year card that gets issued. You have the right to know, well, you've always had the right to live in Portugal, but you don't have to maintain the investment. Your benefits continue. You still have access to free healthcare, to free schooling.
So it's time that the additional 5 years would not be requiring to remain vested. It's purely a sort of 5 years time served.
Correct. Correct.
We should look at what is going on. Now, until today, that is still today, because this is still an intention. The program is a 5-year program. So after 5 years, an investor can decide, a family can decide, if they go to citizenship, to passport, or to permanent residency. the majority of the investors or families, they prefer to go to citizenship to have an additional passport that
Okay.
gives them flexibility, mobility in the future,
Yep.
especially for the kids if they want to work or live or study in Europe.
Yep.
Okay. Now, of course, there were many nationals that went for permanent residency. Nationals from countries that don't allow dual citizenship, like China or India or Japan. So they prefer to go to permanent residency. Now, if there is a law change for the citizenship, then it changes the citizenship law, but it does not change the residency law.
Understood.
Okay, the residency law. So what could happen is that the Golden Visa program could become a two-step program.
Okay.
Okay, what do I mean is that after 5 years, all families would go for permanent residency. Some of them would only want to do that anyway, like the Chinese or the
Of
Indians,
course,
as I explained.
that sort of demographic.
Then you get the permanent residency. After the permanent residency is considered, you may sell your assets, either if it is real estate that you bought in the past, either if it is a fund investment or fund investments, and then you will wait for 1 or 2 or 5 more years, depending what is going to be approved, if something, to apply for citizenship.
Loads of noise, as always, politically around about the Golden Visa at the moment, particularly citizenship. Okay, there's residency, there's citizenship.
Exactly.
Residency doesn't seem to be being discussed at the moment. Citizenship is.
Exactly.
Tell us, if you get residency, I mean, is there much difference between it and citizenship?
No.
Tell us, because there's a lot of noise and chat about it. Let's set the record straight here.
Exactly. Good point, David. So basically, everyone that is afraid of losing the citizenship path because the Portuguese government wants to change it and it's still unclear, we have a good alternative, solid, objective alternative to our clients is giving them the legal advice that after 5 years, they are still able to apply for the PR, the permanent residency. It's an equivalent status as the citizenship, as a Portuguese citizen, in terms of working, traveling, study, social security benefits, education, etc. But of course, there's a difference between political rights. You cannot be elected or vote for the national elections, but you can vote for local government elections. So I think it's a good solution.
So unless you're sitting in California with great hopes of running for Lisbon office, residency is pretty much enough and all you need.
Exactly.
All political parties in general, apart from a few sort of tweaks, are pretty happy about the Golden Visa.
They are. Why? The reason why it's a very popular program. It continues to be a very popular program. For example, unlike countries, for example, Greece, where your citizenship, you have to be living in the country for 7 years before you can apply for citizenship. Portugal is 5 years, and will maintain hopefully that requirement. And Portugal or the Parliament do not want to have any provision that will affect the Golden Visa program, namely create any disadvantage. So they want to maintain, as a small country that we are, Portugal, competitive advantages. They want to attract investment. They want to attract the foreigners in Portugal, which will be investing in sectors in need in Portugal.
Why consider Portugal's Golden Visa over any other programs?
Yeah, that's a very good point. So the first point would be that the investors don't need to be physically in Portugal, besides the 7 days they have to spend here every year during the validity of their residence permit. So this is like a huge advantage compared to some other programs, because it allows the investors to stay in their home country, continuing their business and seeing this only like as an investment, but also as a plan B to get another passport or residency. So actually this can also be seen as investment, pure investment, but with the addition of a passport or a residency. The other thing is that the residency gives the investors access to to the Schengen zone, so to other European countries. They can travel 90 days out of 180 into other European countries. Once they have the passport, there is no limitation as how long they can stay in other countries. And what is else interesting? So they can, once they have the residence permit, they can live, work, and study here in Portugal as long as they want.
Okay.
And
the 7 days is very, I mean, for people who want to move here, but to not have that obligation to have to move if it's not suitable for you at that point in time is massively advantageous.
yeah, that's true. And
Yeah, we've exhausted the Portuguese Golden Visa, but guys, that's a good summary, Alex. Thank you. So again, everybody, just to summarize the points of the discussion. Yes, there may be a change to the citizenship rules in October, not the residency rules. The residency rules will be unchanged. As a Golden Visa prospective investor, you're very welcome in Portugal. It's popular in Portugal. The main major parties support it, so it's only a little bit of arm wrestling that's going on. It's not it doesn't look at potentially jeopardizing the future of the program. Okay, I think that is set in stone for a number of years. And as Alex pointed out, there are massive benefits, and I would say it's 100% the #1 residency by investment program currently floating about the planet.